What's up, people? Manners respect. Manners respect, people. How everybody doing? I hope everybody doing good. It's still cold enough for we neck of the woods. And it all starts snow again. Oh yeah, and Ford win at a third term of Canada. Yeah, people. You know that go with the politics already. It has to be studied. So people, so the cycle of the month is like winding down for the new cycle to appear, right? Because when me did I go through the 12 colors one month, me did all sad when the month I end. And it's like, why me sad? That was the question. And I said, me sad because the month I end. And it's like the month is not ending. It's like the cycle is continuing in the next month. So it's not an end, it's like a beginning. Right? So all of them things I'm gonna tell you, sir, it's like I was going through all of them stuff here way before, right? Come to say a long time the, the the 12 colors appear, right? I'm gonna go into the 12 colors already. So it's amazing. It's amazing to learn, people, trust me. No joke about it. So as the new cycle begins, right? The information from this month is just gonna be transformed into the next month. What we learn this month is what we're supposed to incorporate into the next month, right? So it starts off with the you free your mind, right? And then you set it up with the strength, and then come the strength, then the sharing. So all of these stuff, them just have meaning. It's just our whole life have meaning, no. It's just that our life is not highlighted in a sense like we not pay attention to it. So nobody not pay attention to it. I say how rich our culture is, right? Every culture support them culture. Like every culture support them culture. You're not gonna find a culture where say me no like my culture and me want break away. You might have one and two people, you know. You have one and two people where say, "Cho, I'm not down for my roots." But it's not like a whole culture. I forget who they are, and it's not even. It's like so we ignore it. Some see it. It's like so we just ignore a culture. So it no matter. It doesn't matter to us. And that's the thing. How can we culture no matter to we? I don't understand how free culture no matter to we. That's crazy. So we not look upon food culture with no meaning and no understanding. We not look upon food culture like it means something. And that me can't understand, you know. I can't understand how we hate the greatness of us so much. Because even when we did under greater strain and stress than we under now, we're always proud, always a fight. We a fight now, you know, but we just a fight against each other. That's all I see. I just see us fighting against each other. And it's like I said, there's no ending. That's why I said this is so important to me, Fifi. Got you and understand, highlight. Because there's many factor, you know. There's many factor for us being the way we are. I just want to know, say, if this is how it's gonna be forever. We just always have to be on the losing side. The losing side of not being united, not having a common goal, not looking how important we are to this. Them things that me I see, you know. And if we are see them things that we must can try find and work on the solution them. Right, people? We must can work on the solution them and give us a clear view on certain things. Alright, people, so I'm gonna tell you say all of them people I want me to highlight. Not all of them, but this one today is from, as usual, from I Never Knew TV, right? And again, I reach out to him and him still not reach back. Him still back now, no answer. And again, nobody now gonna reach out to you until they become famous, you know. And then they you can show them the text. Say, yeah, man, the text you, send you an email, all of them stuff there. Because I know people that on YouTube when we reach out to. But you know, you're nothing from them. That's how it got people, right? So it's from I Never Knew TV, right? And today it's DrJerika Johnstone on comedic yoga, meaning of the ankh, quiet in the mind. People, me tell you say all of them people what that when I go up on my live and me highlight them and stuff like that. These are people where they might be controversial to some people. Some people might not like them, right? And that's how it is. Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody are gonna agree with what you say. Them things are people. It's like saying people forget about them things they know and just become thin skin pan everything. Them just anything you say hurt them feelings and make them feel like it's look, our whole existence has always been in in traumatic. Our whole experience is traumatic experience. We do it to each other, others do it to us, we do it to others. Yes, we do it to others too. But the thing about it is none of that is done to anybody because of the devil do everything. Everything that goes wrong, we can blame it on the devil. Right? You see, right through history, pretty much nobody never get, it's rare that people get convicted for their crime when them in a certain class or category or group. Some people get exempted from judgment or to be held accountable. But we always get all accountable. All if we not do it, I feel we fault. Right? So when I look upon them things and I go through them things, I learn and I understand as much as the people that will click on my channel and in the future. Because this is not for this generation. I keep on saying it. This generation already have a mindset. The next generation, them have to have mind fluidity. Them have to be able to deal with everything. Them not have to understand it perfectly, because there is no perfect. Them just have to understand it and be able to deal with any situation that comes their way. Because this generation can't be bothered with anything other than just say, money, 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 money. This is pretty much what is highlighted, like not the goodness of who we are, but just what we can contribute to money. So this is what I say for me, I got through learning from people past, present, and see the future. Because I said the people them that's present, them can't change the future. So them are gonna be in the future. So today, I tell you say it's DrJerika Johnstone, right? And I tell you say one time them people talk, they have something to say, something where we can learn from, right? That's why I choose the people them that's not entertainers. I mean not I not say entertainer body now. I am just saying the people them are supposed to highlight must have more content to them, right? Doctors, like physicians, um, engineers, right? People with a higher knowledge than us. Because if we are gonna gravitate to something better, why gravitate to the same thing, the same, the same not gone away? When there's people out there that's looking to make things better, not just for themselves, and that's one of the things I said from before. We never used to look out just me, me, me. It was always about the community. It's always about um upliftment. When they close it, they call it the hospital um in Detroit. Them did that turn out lots of nurses. There was like it was a conveyor belt of chefs, of nurses, doctors, specialists, all of them things there, right? It was important, but then close it down and we don't have them things there anymore. I turn out good citizens of society. Okay, so as we proceed, people.
Jerika Johnstone, welcome. I Never Knew TV.
Yay.
Thank you for coming. We want to get right into it, right? Can you how would you define comedic yoga?
Comedic yoga. So, comedic yoga is a practice that originates out of ancient Kemet, which is like the area that we now call Egypt. But Egypt is the Greek name, it comes from Egyptos. So, Kemet, ancient Kemet, is like what the people of that land called the land. So, Kemet is Egypt and southern parts as well, like Kush Valley, Nile Valley civilizations. So if we go to the pyramids or we go into the temples there, you'll actually see folks doing yoga. So my teacher, Yasir Rahotep, he's out of Chicago. He's been teaching and training for over like 50 years. He brings folks to Egypt or Kemet. He brings folks to Jamaica, just all over the world to train us in basically what these folks were doing inside of these temple walls. So the main tenet of Kemetic yoga is rule of 4 breathing, because we're really focused on bringing the breath up to the pituitary gland, which is like right here in between the eyebrows, and then the pineal gland, which is like the middle of your brain. So we bring this life force energy, this chi, if you will, up to the brain with the breath, find a pause, and then exhale through the nostrils, allowing all the chi to flow like through the fingertips and through the toes. So it's really about life force as breath and really activating those glands within our body to find a new space of consciousness. So it's holistic in that, yes, you're going to find the, properly eating and, moving of your body and things of that sort. But really the focus is on the breath, because the folks, we're so deliberate about life force and breath and oxygen to move the body and to access greater realms of consciousness through the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. So if you look at pictures or you look at some of the ancient art, you'll see like this wajet or the snake coming out of the third eye center. And that's what the focus is. It's like, let me bring this breath up to this space where I know this pituitary gland is like this doorway to the subconscious mind.
People, you see, okay, and the breathing, I'm telling us that it's so important. Boy, I'm telling you, it's like the lessons, they're just going into each other lessons. I'm gonna tell you how important it is to breathe, because some people don't breathe. Them don't breathe. All right.
Really focus on pausing there. And then as I exhale, bringing this energy back through that special place and allowing this chi or this prana to flow through the fingertips and through the toes. So that's kind of what makes it different, in that there's a inhale, a pause, an exhale, and a pause. And then you visualize literally like what you might see in the art if you were to go to ancient Kemet. So
you mentioned breath, right? And I know a lot of practices speak about the importance of breath.
mm-hmm.
How detrimental is our breathing pattern in our environment, in our current society?
Well, many of us are breathing very shallow. The lungs are like super, I don't want to say dirty, but just like a lot of us are doing shallow breathing. So we're just breathing from like the top of the lungs, opposed to having these long breaths where we're going to cleanse from the bottom of the lungs all the way to the top. So in Kemetic yoga, we really focus on elongating the breath. So, it may be like 6 or 7 counts where we're exhaling, or 6 or 7 counts on the inhale, because we want to get to the bottom of the lungs. We could have stale air that's been in our lungs trapped for like a decade. Like that just is like so incredibly astounding to me. Like, wow, there could be breath from when I was in my 30s, So we tend to breathe really shallow. And we tend to breathe in a way that doesn't really get the full oxygen flowing to like all the cells in our body. So Kemetic yoga definitely focuses on like clearing out the lungs and then sending this oxygen to the entire body. Yeah.
And when you are doing these breathing exercises, you're not necessarily focusing on anything, or you have some type of mantra or anything. You're just focusing on the breath.
Well, we do have a nice visualization. So not necessarily a mantra, but just inhaling, allowing the breath to come up, focusing on this third eye center, really focusing on the brain. And then as we exhale, feeling actually the sensation of the chi, of the energy flowing through the extremities, like through the fingertips and through the toes. So it's like really conscious breath. And we place the tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth. So that's something the tongue to the roof of the mouth is like a very important connection in Kemetic yoga, because it helps the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain sync. So that's another part that just makes it a little bit more deliberate in terms of the visualization, but not necessarily a mantra per se, but definitely seeing the cobra emerge in your mind's eye, emerge from this space, finding that pause. And then when you exhale, imagining this wajet or this cobra coming back in through the third eye and then flowing down through the rest of the body.
Can you explain to our viewers the difference between yoga as a form of moving meditation versus a more stationary form of meditation?
Sure. Okay. So with Kemetic yoga in particular, we focus on geometric progression. So all of the poses, for the most part, you're going to find like these beautiful angles within your own body. So no matter your shape, no matter your size, like we're going to make a 90-degree angle here, you know, this is Ka, right? So Ka is a pose that is about your spirit and that part of you that is still here, even when your body's not here, right? So all of these asanas or all of these gestures or movements are very focused on the sacred geometry within your body, right? So it doesn't matter if you're like slim or thick or whatever, like you can find like these sacred geometric forms, right? So the yoga is actually preparation for meditation. So you do the yoga, you're feeling all good, you feel nice and high, and then like you go into your prayer, you go into your meditation. The meditation may just be where you're sitting and you're receiving information or listening.
People, and you see it come back to B. It always come back to B. As we proceed, people.
And you're like chilling versus the actual movement with the breath is going to, of course, strengthen your muscles, lengthen your muscles, strengthen your lungs, strengthen your heart, all those things. Turning on the parasympathetic nervous system, that helps us just kind of chill instead of like get super hyped. So that's why we really do the yoga. So then when stuff gets stressful, we can kind of just come back to the breath and not like go into that flight or flight type of, yeah.
For all those listening, I don't do yoga consistently, but I've done it. And it's quite the workout holding these stances because I was there sweating bullets and shit. I just want to let people know, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits, like for sure. That's like the added benefit, right? So not only are you clearing your mind and you're, you know, attuning within, but then also like you might like actually see a little bit more muscle definition or perhaps like be able to like touch your toes a little bit easier. So yeah, for sure.
I ask everyone this, so I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
All right. What is your understanding of the meaning of the Ankh?
The Ankh. All right. Well, for me, you know, initially everyone is just like eternal life, eternal life. And yes, for sure. I also think that it relates to this idea of the of life force, like of breath, right? So we take breath for granted. You know, it's so important for us to.
And that's the whole thing. We do, people. It's just we make it second nature, not first nature, you know. We don't take our breath as first nature. We just, yeah, we breathe. But me say, if you don't breathe right, you're gonna have issues. And she said, sometimes we have air in our way for how long. If we not take a deep breath and just put fresh air in our body, at the whole air we're in our way, we and the fresh air just go on top. That's why I'm saying it's so important. Every time you take a breath, that's precious.
You know, it's so important for us to really like attune to our breath and realize like its power, like it can take us to another place. So for me, like the Ankh is about the life force. It also is like when you look at the ankh itself, it kind of looks like a womb, and then so it's like the union of a male and a female, and that's just like a beautiful
uniformity. That's what it is, right? That's imperfection, symmetric. This is how I look at the ankh.
union, right? So it can be life force, it can be creation, also eternal life, and then also like the union of male and female. Let's see, what else do I have in my notes? Yeah, just even the form of it, kind of like you can maybe visualize the circulation of life force and energy, also connecting the physical body to the astral body, the union of heaven and earth. So it's so many things.
Why is
Exactly. It is so many things, and that's us. There's so much more when it becomes uniformity. When two people work together to do anything, it's so amazing. As a team, it shows you perfect balance in everything.
effective in reducing stress and focusing the mind?
Okay. So when we're able to slow down the mind, slow down the breath, and kind of distract ourselves and just focus on the breath, it helps us turn on the parasympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system is the system that helps us chill, helps us relax, helps us just like find a sense of peace and inner calm. And it's just like kind of naturally what happens. Like it's just like a scientific thing. I don't know like all the scientific words for it, but it helps the nervous system relax opposed to being in a state of just like reaction. Just being able to just like kind of take a moment, go within, process before reacting. So I think you'll find like a lot of yoga practitioners, they just may have like a sense of inner calm because they've been working on the breath, doing the breath work. And then also a lot of times when you're doing these movements, and you're sending the breath and the oxygen to where you might feel a little bit of discomfort or like inflammation or something like that, you're also realizing.
Yes, people. And this is why I choose all of them people here, because you see the way they think, it's not that it's togetherness. Pretty much everything with them talk about, it's always unity, right? When it comes to mental health, physical health, emotional, all of these stuff is so important for us. But again, these are the things we don't pay attention to, right? As we proceed, people.
Information or something like that, you're also realizing your power, like, oh wow, like I have the power to kind of like switch my mind a bit and like refocus and reprogram and just maybe send the breath to these tight spaces, and wow, now look, I have some movement, so then it's like an added benefit because you realize, oh, like my breath is super powerful, it's helping me move through these poses, and then also I'm just achieving like a greater sense of calm and well-being. So
Why do you think people struggle so much with meditation? I hear that a lot. I've been meditating like last couple months. I just started, but I hear people like they try it, but they just get so discouraged because they struggle with just being still and being with themselves.
yeah, I mean, the mind is very busy, and then we're bombarded with so much information now, it's so hard to turn it off. And I think people have this idea of what meditation should look like. Like I need to be like sitting in lotus pose and holding my hand yoga and just breathing and smiling. And for me, meditation can look many ways. It could be like a walk in nature. It could be you painting or in your creative self, So I think we need to detach from like what meditation actually looks like.
And meditation is easing the mind of all the stress, the outside noise. And That's the same thing. There's so much outside noise. We have so much information now coming our way. Everything from our phone as a notification, notificate you for everything. Everybody where you subscribe to and turn on the notification bell, oh, the amount of notification you will get, right? This is why I say, for me, it's not about sensationalism because you don't have to listen to it right away. Things, good things, 10, 20 years down the line, you're going to listen to it and you say, yeah, it makes sense. With adjustment to the times, right? As we proceed, people, because I'm telling you, say it's for us to have our mind right, first of all. It's very important to have your mind right. As we proceed, people.
And then just realize that more than anything, it's just you communing with yourself, which is essentially communing with source, communing with, some people say, like your higher self or something like that. So I think it's important for us to detach from like what we think meditation should look like. Because for me, like going on nature walks, being in nature, like that's my vibe. Like I'm in a meditative state. Like I'm able to just kind of be in a space of an empty mind, but like also like appreciative, thankful, a state of just like grace, you know, like all those things. So
You see, she used the color gray, but it's not a dull. It's not a dull. The colors are not dull, first of all. So I'd say it's a bright yellow, right? Space that you're looking to find to be when you're meditating. That's where your mind is supposed to be. A sharing space, not receiving space, a sharing space. All of them things, I know, it's like I am aware of them things. Everybody's aware of them things, but people don't really pay attention. That's why I'm say listening is such a key to everything, you know. Listening is such a key to everything because once you listen, you will understand. Ask question gives you clarity. So when we go on the walk in the winter and you only see one or two people and you see the people them a walk them dog, more than likely. Them a do it for the dog, but me feel so that they don't understand them a do it for themselves too. To be out there, peace of mind, calm, white, pure. As we proceed, people.
you know, like all those things. So I think if you are having a hard time, two things that I recommend. One is maybe just having like a mantra that you can repeat to yourself, like I am love, or even chanting your own name.
And that's what I say, be unlimited. That's what I say. That's my mantra. Be unlimited. Be unlimited. Be unlimited. Be. So be is being. Be great. So when we say be unlimited, that's pretty much me creating my own mantra from long time, right? So everybody must have a mantra.
Can be really powerful just over and over in your head. And then also doing something deliberate with your hands. So in Kemetic yoga, we do a lot of this particular pose, which is like thumb and pointer finger together, and then you push out through your other three fingers. So you'll see.
So it's like the peace sign. You put up the peace sign. And sometimes then put it up and then look through it. So people use sign in different ways, people. I always say people use sign in different ways and how they interpret it. Because the same thing when they do with the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl halftime, how them dissect it and say this mean that and that mean that, right? So in everything there's sign. As we proceed.
Like in the scribes who would like sit and write the hieroglyphs, like a lot of them be sitting in like an easy crisscross applesauce pose, and then holding this, which is for like clear thinking and clear knowing. So maybe try to do something cool or deliberate with your fingers and your hands. So then not only do they have like all these added benefits, but then like your mind is kind of distracted because you're just like, okay, I'm holding these fingers properly. You know, like my fingers are touching. Like you're not thinking about like the news or something like that. So finding ways to like distract the mind, but then also opening up to the many ways that meditation may look.
All right, before I ask you about homeschool,
And that's what I said. When you go, it's more like she said gray, but me say it's more like yellow, because you're opening up your mind to share, but you're not taking anything. That's the whole thing about yoga. It's clearing your mind, having that clear. I'm gonna talk about from January, right? Your mind must be clear. You must have that space. I mean, again, it goes back to you. If you don't have that space there within yourself, it's like you're always lost. And them say we race lost because we don't have a semblance of where we're going, right? Back in the days we did have this the semblance of betterment, community and them things there. Since them split up the family, when the professor come on and the professor say our marriage dropped from 70% to like 30% around this, so right? The families automatically ruined this, so so the community is gone. Now they call it garrison and ghetto, right? Them change the name, then change everything, and we accept all of them stuff here. Not fighting to keep and create something. And that's our culture now. Our culture is something we're supposed to fight for and keep. Manners, respect. So if we fight to keep a culture a certain way, it's gonna maintain and teach the kids them the same culture of within, not outside. As we proceed.
before I ask you about homeschooling, right? Can you tell me what you believe are the biggest issue with our country's public education system?
Well, I feel like um, the public education system is definitely built upon like these kind of archaic models where, people had to go to work, so they had to send their kids to school, and they're just long days. And kids don't need to be like sitting in the classroom for 8 hours a day. Like literally you can probably like, I think preschool, they only need like 30 minutes of like instruction or, like guided like instruction. Even high school, I think it's like literally you could get like what they need within like 2 or 3 hours. So there's just so much like so many fillers. And then it's just, if we know just how children develop and things of that sort, like we know kids need to play, we know they need to be outside, we know they need sunlight. Like that's what's going to be healthy for the brain development.
And what's wild is a lot of these schools, the kids don't go outside. The classroom is pretty dark. It's not lit like this place.
And this is indoctrination. This is what I say. Okay, you see, we can't just look on the school system, because if you have the books them right at home when your kids them go to school, right, and then learn the thing at school, when they come home you are teach them your knowledge of what you have. You see, the Indian people them, the reason why them have their parents at home, because when they go to school and come home, they're coming home to their tradition. The grandparents are teach them the tradition. Tell us them little pitney them mannerably, they're so, because it's a culture. That's what you call a culture. Unity within the organization of the family. You cannot look on the school and them people that television. Now them do it. Them say, oh, television. Now it's video game. Now it's all of these stuff is not, none of them something, yeah, right? It's very few. I go up on what was it I went on today, and I saw the doctor. The doctor was talking about pumpkin, right? And him I say him don't cook the pumpkin, him juice the pumpkin and drink the juice. And then him use the pulp and make him in blue jars. Right? Because I always get a call during my life. Oh. So this is why I'm saying though, like it's very rare you can find information out there in those chaotic things. It's very, you have to pick out the sense out of the nonsense. And with them I try, it's like you have so much nonsense. It's such a headache for you to go through all of that nonsense for you to get the sense. So this is what I say. It's so important for you as part of your family. I educate each other on what our culture and our our traditions are. We can't look on the school and outside forces. Because I said this, the church and they don't do church anymore. Them do money. Just like everybody else. Even the church are forgetting at the swing of thing. Give me money, give me money, give me money. They were doing it before, but now them are come out and I tell us, well, we want to be in the group, I beg money, beg money, beg money too. As we proceed, people.
Classroom is pretty dark. It's not lit like this place here. So that's a red flag just to start with. And this is a daily thing every day.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, when we talk about, comedic yoga, right? And like attuning to like the divine within, the system doesn't really want for our kids to do that because
obviously not, people. If we right, we're supposed to do the right things for each other. We are gonna cut out the middleman, the middle woman, the middle whoever. And that's not good for them, but it's good for us.
the system doesn't really want for our kids to do that because if our kids really were able to attune to the divine within, like they'd be soaring, they'd be flying, they'd be doing all types of things. And it's hard to control someone if they truly are in tune with like their selves, so it's a tough situation because I know parents have to work and like what are you supposed to do with your kids, and we're just like living in this living in this society where it's just like based upon these old models. So it would be beautiful if we could just change everything and like go back to the apprenticeship. Like my kids would love to just come and work with you for a week. They would probably learn way more in a week with you opposed to like a whole year, like learning like tech and video production and stuff like that. It's just like I feel like things are really drawn out and
not just drawn out, waste time. That's a lot of waste time, trust me. And it's not being productive because then we go to school. Right? Actually, you don't know all this are set up, Ugh.
Part of the issue is that the true divine nature, especially like with our kids that have melanin, they're going to be a little bit more active. They're going to be more in their spirit. They may call them spirited kids or whatnot. They're going to be more athletic. They're going to have greater
way more energy. Trust me. Because I was like, I'm always like that. Energy just come.
Abilities. It's just who we are. And a lot of times that gets shunned or because it's not aligning within their model, to sit.
Was there, I see you did extensive research and education at different institutions, right? How shocking was it, or what?
Boy, I'm telling you, these programs, people, I'm tell you, them program and they're not getting highlighted on a big enough scale. They're getting highlighted because every time when I watch them show you, and I share them show you, right? Somebody's listening, somebody's gonna go Google these people, look into what they're saying, find out more about them, right? So I am so happy these people are coming to me so I can highlight them and show them greatness and our greatness, past, present, and future. As we proceed, people.
Extensive research and education at different institutions, right? How shocking was it, or was it shocking to your system to come to this revelation and how it goes against what you were taught?
It's been so hard. it's really been hard, especially as a parent. I've run the whole gamut. Like I've done the homeschooling, I've done, a little bit of private school, public. My kids are in public school right now. And it's just, I believe we have, just a journey. And if there comes a point where it just doesn't balance out or doesn't feel right, then we can make a change. But literally, I take it day by day, year by year. And more than anything, what I've come to realize is I need you to be able to think critically, period. So
that's like my main thing with my daughter. I'm not gonna lie to you.
mm-hmm.
And I constantly do stuff with her to challenge her mentally. So hopefully she gets it. But that's like my main concern. Sorry.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying though. There is a difference between a person who have a weak mind, which means their mind is not developed to understand certain things, right? So usually the father would did if you make them have a certain um strength within themselves. Me say when we hear the word single mother, that's not a good word, because you see you have uncle, you have brother, you have nephews, you have other people who can represent like in a fatherly way, right? Because me tell you say I've done that, and I only have one kid. And if me did look upon it and say, well, I only have one kid, right? I'm only gonna look out for that kid. I don't think I'd feel the way I feel today. But I feel proud knowing that I never held back from teaching and educating kids and showing them betterment. Because it wasn't my dad. Until the same time I meet my dad and I look at my father, he never represent, honestly, me never look at him like, oh, I look at other men. Maybe that's not something for me to say, but that's how I felt, right? Because I had good men around me who set good example. So it's not just on one person. When you say, "Oh, there's no father, there's no father," it's them things that sound so hurtful, you know. It sound a weird. That's how I try to show you the way we talk, the way we communicate, the things that we say. We just beat down ourselves every day. We just beat down each other every day. And these are the things me say why it can't change. This is why it seems like the past, present, and future is one. It's like it's no changes. But me I understand them things here now, because them things I'm think about them before. But now I'm actually putting them together to see how we can fix the situation. Because there's always a solution to any problem. As we proceed, people. Because you see, she said she try different things. She have them in a private school. She home taught them, educate them, home educate. Because I don't know, like, it's still education, right? Not because it's school, it's not in a classroom. Because I'm tell you say it's a school, but for the student to be there, that's when it becomes a class, because somebody's learning. As we proceed, people.
So hopefully she gets it. But that's like my main concern. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know, like, I feel your passion, like, because I know you're an amazing dad and you love your daughter and you want the best for her, and each child does have their own journey. I have 3 children, and like some of them have done a little bit more schooling than others. And it's shaped them to be whoever they need to be. But I think the foundation of being a critical thinker. So if they're going to, and I tell them, like, they're going to feed you a lot, guys, but you don't have to take everything.
Exactly. It's just like the buffet, like perfect example. Because I got a buffet with people already, right? And the first thing they do is pile up them plate with, like, them all take 6 legs. If a crab leg, them might take 6 leg, right? If they might take say ribs, they might take all 8 ribs. I mean, that's stupid. That's so stupid. It's a buffet. A buffet is about sampling. So you take one of this, one of that, just for taste so it tastes like. So you're probably gonna eat like half of the food in the place and you don't get to taste the other half. Okay. The lady was take off her shoes and she and her husband in there. And they come in like say they must be going there from 6 o'clock in the morning till the time we got there because the amount of plate them will pile up beside them people here. Right? And at that time, we never about you have to have 10 plate, 10 and that may I try show you when me go, me use one plate, right? And them always, oh, get the next one, get the next one. But me say me no want overcrowd it. That's gluttony. As we proceed, people.
Lot, guys, but you don't have to take everything as, fact. And there's a chance that like your teacher could
as fat as FAT. But she say FACT. Because if you're eating everything, trust me, I eat fat. As we proceed, people.
Sometimes, so like just kind of giving them that kind of tool to kind of like see above, and then also teaching them too that they are these eternal souls. So it's not just like, I'm a 6-year-old in kindergarten and I don't know anything, but like, no, like you have intuition and you've had experiences in the past that bring you wisdom, right? So allowing all that to guide you. Yesterday was kind of tough because I was riding with my son and he said, during snack, they watch something or whatever. And I'm just like, it annoys me. Just like, why do you have to watch shows in school? Like, it's fine, but it was about the moon landing. And, I'm a conspiracy theorist. So I'm just like, well, like that could not be a real thing, like, and but he was adamant that like they landed on the moon. Like he did not want to have this conversation about,
You see, because when them tell them one thing at school, it's hard for them come home and learn something different. This is what I say. It's like you can't force information on people. You have to give them a choice to understand. So this is what I say. Most of the time, right? It's not about the sensationalism, because when it's sensational, it's a headline. There's not any in-depth information in it. So if them put up, oh, six man get boxed up, right? You don't know who you don't know them age, you don't know them name, you don't know nothing about them. But the headline catches you. Meanwhile, you can read the book and get the proper information. So this one I say, if you educate them when they come home, you're not try force them to unlearn what them learn at school, Just make them understand. So there's two sides to every story, and them will tell you one side of the story. So you have to understand, okay, see through their eyes and see through our eyes too. As we proceed, people, I love them. I love like when them people are talk, because you see them are talk about life, them are talk about the things where them have to deal with on a daily basis, and them things that we don't talk about, the things where we have to deal with on a daily basis. As we proceed, people.
About, the possibility of it not happening, and I just kind of had to let it go and realize, hey, he has his journey too, but like the goal was just be critical. Like, don't take everything that they say as truth, but it's so hard. Yeah.
It is. I'm gonna tell you, if you take out the hand out of manners and respect, right? Out of manners, respect. It's so hard because it's been there in my head for so long. Even though when I say manners, respect, it sounds so much better than when you broke it, right? Manners, respect. It's so smooth. But when you say manners and respect, it's like say you step on something and then you go over on the other side. I don't know if you don't understand that, This is why I say sometimes the language where them teach we, it's so destructive, right? Because when the man talk about in a the different Swahili language, there's different meaning for good. You can't say so much different form of good. Meanwhile, when you say good, you just mean one good in the English language. Yeah, people, as we proceed.
Like, don't take everything that they say as truth, but it's so hard. Yeah.
So I know you have experience with homeschooling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing I'm trying to figure out because I don't understand. I don't know people's home situation.
Yeah.
Is homeschooling realistic with working parents?
You need community. You need community.
People, I am so happy. Continue talking. I'm just saying, this is what I've been stressing for. Continue, people. Continue.
And I was fortunate enough to have community around me where there were some moms that were home. So we were able to kind of build a co-op. So, you're going to go to TT's house this day, you're going to go to Baba's house this day. So it kind of worked out, but there are some homeschooling cooperative groups now. So like you could like drop your child somewhere and there's a bunch of homeschoolers, so they can have like that social experience and interaction, and they are going to be like with peers and stuff like that. But you definitely need community. Like you just can't do it alone because if you got to go to work, you don't want your kid just like watching YouTube all day, while you're not there. So it's like, I mean, I love YouTube, but so
knock it. Even okay, so if you leave them, you have an assignment. Yeah, you write down an assignment and then say, okay, once you finish the assignment, you do this and you do that. And that much I show people when people talk nowadays, it's like, oh, they didn't do this and they can't do this. And I'm saying, oh, is it always on somebody else when we can do it ourselves? Burkina Faso, Niger, Maui. Them three countries that them team up together and kick out the French people, them I do what them I do. Like me tell you say I could do a Burkina Faso every day. I feel so nice about that country. Right? But there's people doing these changes. People are making these changes to make it worth it. As we proceed, people.
So it's like, I mean, I love you too, but so yeah, is it realistic? It's definitely doable, but you definitely need community. And now homeschooling is definitely more popular. So like there's like, I know in Philadelphia, there's like a number of homeschooling groups that you could connect with. And then, the working parents, maybe they put in a little bit more time or effort on the weekends or something like that. But
and how does homeschooling curriculums look like?
So they have everything. Like, you could go like, the crunchy granola Waldorf education route. You can do like the Christian education. You can do, like the online type of, virtual type of learning. So like whatever you want, like it's there. There's even like African centered curriculum. So like they're out there. And then there's this whole unschooling, there's this unschooling, what we call it, just like movement, which is just like, I don't need to feed you anything. Like, let me just see where your natural inclination will take you. And then, so you're interested in plants, like, oh, okay, well, let's make a lesson out of that. Let's just go deep and hard into plants. Or like, you're interested in Pokemon. All right, like you can learn how to read with Pokemon. You can learn how to do you can learn about evolution, like all these things. I believe in evolution as a theory, but like Pokemons evolve. So that's kind of like more of the unschooling trend, where it's just like you let the child's interest drive the curriculum.
So I'm just listening to you. Wouldn't unschooling be like the natural form of schooling before you had this like mass schooling? Because the thing I'm trying to figure out, observing people, right? And this probably sound away when I say it, but the most brilliant people I know aren't formally educated people.
And that's true. Formally educated people. It's so true though, man. Some of the smartest people them when me know them is like me meet this chef one time, the man couldn't read, and I could not tell this man couldn't read. This man was so artistic in the kitchen. It's like say the man know everything about cooking, calculation and everything backwards. He was the one who taught me that um your rate of pay and the hours you work are the two most important thing. And of them things that I always focus on, right? As we proceed, people.
No, aren't formally educated people.
Yeah.
I just want to be truthful about it, right? Not just trying to throw shots at anyone, right? But the thing is that like life, life, and just being a student of life and being self-taught. And I think that the school thing now is just it gives children a disdain for learning, and more than anything, a disdain for reading. And that's what's hurting them long term because when they leave school, any learning that they receive, it's like a burial at a sense. It's like rest in peace to learning anything when they leave school, you know. Even though most of them never learn anything in school, but just being open to learning. That seems to be the issue, you know.
It's you're
Because it's not learning, it's indoctrination. When you go to school, it's like you just that's why you say if it's not learning, if it's learning is not fun, right? It's okay. Me I learn about all of them things here, all of them people here, all of so much, because them people are attack me, I write down what them I say, and I'm increasing my knowledge, and that's why I say everybody learn different, and it's so interesting and so amazing to hear them people talk them own story themselves. Nobody now talk it for them. You understand? Yes, people. Everybody learn differently, but everybody is indoctrinated the same.
Being open to learning. That seems to be the issue, you know.
you're spot on. I mean, I've seen it, and it's like when you have to keep a reading log, like that's so annoying. Like I just want to read for fun. Like why do I have to like write down how fast, what book, like all these things? It's just like, can I just have like a natural desire and love for reading? And a lot of times kids naturally really aren't going to start reading till like 8 or 9, but we're like pushing it on them, like 3 or 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old, like my baby can read, like let's read, and it's fine. Like some children will be naturally inclined and very verbal and able to do that, but for the most part, like really from like birth to like 7 or 8, they should just be playing, and then if you're reading to them, they're gonna have a love for books. You don't have to like force it down their throat, have them keep a reading log and spelling tests and all this stuff. But it's just, they got to get those tests, right? It's so much about testing. Like, how are we performing as a nation, as a city, as a country? All right, well, that's what it's about.
This is what bugs me out with the test thing, right? All the numbers are fudged anyway, and the kids can't perform. That's the whole thing. Like, it's this is such a corrupt system because anyone in education knows this for the most part. I'm not saying every system, but a lot of these teachers are fudging the numbers to keep their job or get a promotion. So it's not even an accurate assessment of what the child's doing, and you're stressing out the child, and the child's not learning properly.
Yeah, it's really sad. Like I've seen my 6-year-old stress over these spelling tests that he's getting every week, and then like, his handwriting, just like if it's not excellent versus good, like she's judging his handwriting. It's just like this is his expression, and he's 6. Like he's 6.
Back to the handwriting thing already, people. Why do you have to talk about handwriting when we don't talk about say my handwriting is not one of the best in the world? Eh? People, them have to turn pan the handwriting thing when me done say that what everybody handwriting is different, and if you can love your handwriting, you can love yourself. And my handwriting is not one of the prettiest. And then she a go touch upon the handwriting, so people are judge the handwriting. So now you understand? Eh? Even upon your handwriting, people are judge you. So that gonna make you feel uncomfortable. That's why I say I love my handwriting, even though it's not one of the beautifulest, if there's such a word. I'm just saying, people, everything about you have to love, right? As we proceed.
Like he's 6 years old. Like it doesn't need to look like a computer, printed out Times New Roman. It's just like what's really important at this age. It's not the fact that you can like spell all these words, like that will come, and like the brain, it's ready for these types of things at different times, and our school system isn't aligned with that. Even sometimes like the course of the day, when lunch is provided, when they're eating, it's just all for the convenience of like the system and the adults, not like the natural rhythms of the child. I mean, I have kids literally leaving my house when it's still dark. A high schooler, we know high schoolers need to sleep. Like they really probably shouldn't start school until like 10. But we got them out there 7 a.m., and it's just like their brain.
And that's just like the job. They're setting you up to go to work. So I'm telling you, them things I know, them have them own agenda, and we're not part of it. Them just put we in it like a guinea pig. As we proceed, people, I'm tell us enough of them things I'm think about, cause even like why don't they have like other from 9 to 5? How comes it's always 9 to 5? Dolly Parton have a song like working 9 to 5. What? Anyways, Dolly Parton have a song called 9 to 5. I'm just I say why can't they just have, well, them have a 11 till 7 shift and a 3 till 11 shift. But that's the main one is 9 to 5. So the kids I'm going to school is pretty much them practicing to go to work. Right? As we proceed, people, very educational.
And it's just like their brains are just like exhausted.
And what's cool too with the eating situation is that so they get there, they get lunch. I mean breakfast, right? Which is whatever. But then lunch is like at 10:30 and school don't end until 3:30.
Yeah.
Like that can't work, yeah.
No.
That can't work.
And then we won't even talk about what they're feeding them. It's just like,
well, the school I was at, it was prison food basically because
oh my goodness. See, so let me give you prison food for the one that want to go to prison already. And the one that want to go work, I can't work. Oh, people. Boy, I'm telling you, say, yo, these highlights are deep, people, because you see, all of it in the same similar situation, our life based on a similar situation, but we just pretend like say we're better than each other. No, sir, go on. Speak up yourself. Oh, and by the way, this lady is beautiful too. DrJerika Johnstone. Jerika Johnstone. She's beautiful too, right? As we proceed, people, and she not wear no wig or none. Just saying.
Well, the school I was at, it was prison food basically because the same company that provides the food for the prison provides the food for the high school.
You see me I tell you, man. So you get used to prison food early. So you see until you go home now and you eat that the food and that they don't taste like prison food. What you gonna do? Come with graphic at you. People, there's no way we could have met this up because you see, if we met them things up, we're in our own room right now. I try to find the corner. I'm telling you, but because we don't pay attention to these stuff, it's like it just goes by us, just over our head. As we proceed, people.
I think that's probably most. It's the same lady, not Sodexo. What's the one? It's another company, but it's the same company though.
Them have McGregor. McGregor meat, I think. Them have J the JF1 and the JF1 are some, it's a family one that the company there. Seen? So all of these companies mass produce them food, yeah, and just ship it out to whoever. That's crazy, That's crazy. When you first hear it, it's crazy, but after a while, it's like, wow. As we proceed, people.
They leave the school and go up there.
Yeah, they're modeled, I mean, after the prison system. Like, I don't know if you've seen those like memes or whatever, but it's like the bus, the structure of the building, how they have to walk in line. Yeah.
Oh no, sir. It's true. It's true. It's true. So you as a free man now, the uncle thought is just for God jail. Wow. Deeply embedded. Wow. What a society. As we proceed, people, because I tell you, say, my mind are open up much. Like, I tell you, say, enough things me look on. But for hear other people talk about certain things, for realize. Big up yourself, Debbie Jervis. Afternoon. Where they are listen to one professor. Well, no, she's not a professor. She's a doctor. Dr. DrJerika Johnstone. Man, she opened up my eyes to some of them things that for real. That we see them things, you know, but we don't really call it for what it is, you know, as we proceed.
Like, I'm feeling really terrible about sending them to school today. Thanks. But honestly, I'm still like, everyone is having their path. And my older two, they wanted this. They wanted to like go and have like the school experience. My younger one, he's kind of like, you know what? I think I kind of want to homeschool again. And so it's just, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But it's tough. It's really tough.
I want to talk about what's the term they use? They say pedagogy.
Yeah.
Is that it? That's the
Yeah.
word they like throwing around.
Yeah.
Pedagogy.
Right? What is the disconnect between the people who create these theories and the actual implementation of these theories? Because I believe
Pedagogy.
that the people who are analyzing schools and education don't teach, or they haven't taught for a while. And I think that's just in across the board, but it's like it creates an issue because whatever.
Oh, Lee, there is a word like that because I punch it in the thing there and it come up. But there, and I go and learn some amazing thing from some amazing people. It really is a word called pedagogy. It's my first time I hear that, you know. Like we go on, people.
Came up with in their brain is not applicable, and they don't understand.
Yeah, there's a disconnect there. I mean, a lot of the theories that I've enjoyed, you don't even see practiced. And then the ones that make sense for the system, you see practice. So like, I love this one theory, Howard Gardner, and he talks about the multiple intelligences. So it's like the kinesthetic learner, like I'm body smart, you know, the verbal learner, like I can chat, you know, and talk to you, the interpersonal, like I can go within and I know myself. And it's just like, the system is based upon like, if you're mathematical or verbal, like if you're moving, you can't even run, you know, you can't like, that's what my son says. He's like, I want to run in the hallway. I'm like, I know, I wish you could, you know? So it's just like, it's like the theories that make sense, they kind of maybe put under the rug because it doesn't make sense in the big scheme of things when it comes to the system, you know? So, and there's always a new theory coming out and a new program or a new curriculum. And then it's just like teachers, it's like, how do you get to see the progress, you know, or if you know it's not working and you're still doing it.
I have a theory about that too, since you want to get into conspiracy theories. I believe the point, the teacher is just a warm body in there, right? So the teacher is pointless. The student is more important than the teacher.
Oh, people, that is so true. Because remember, say the government give themselves 300% raise, and then they they don't have no money for the teacher them. So for true, them look on the teacher as pointless, yes. They must see the teacher as anybody with sense, right? As we proceed, people.
Because you get more money from the student than the teacher, and it's easier to replace a teacher than a student, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with the curriculum is, I think they want to keep teachers in constant confusion, so they just basically survive and get through the year. Because why would you give someone a curriculum to learn, right, and change it the next year and change it the next year? How effective can you be in teaching that curriculum? There's no
Manners and
place to be
respect,
effective.
welcome. Always
Yeah.
more.
Totally.
So I think they want to keep them overwhelmed and confused. So
And that's one of the things with teachers too. Like, what if you know more than the teacher then get mad at you. If you ask them question where them not know, them get mad at you because you're just there to teach, right? They're just there to teach what they're given to teach, and it's true. It's like a warm body in class. Them just come there to give you the curriculum, make sure say, oh no, beat up each other. Cause me see classroom a teacher, them powerless for control its student, them there to do whatever them want to do. That's why I say in every classroom, they're supposed to have, not in every classroom, they're supposed to have like security in every school. Yes, it sounds like prison, but at least, right? Them is there to make sure say everything is good, right? At least, and the student to understand discipline. Even though again it's model for a prison. As we proceed, people.
overwhelmed and confused. So I guess they really can't. They want to put them in a constant position of survival. So they really can't analyze what's going on. They can give complaints, but they're not really concrete complaints about the system. They're just complaining about like being burnt out.
That's true. I mean, I've been a teacher. Like I've taught elementary school and in African centered schools and in public schools. And it's just like you find that it's not uncommon for you to be introduced to a new way of doing things because it's like the latest research. And then like it could literally be like the next year and then that's debunked. And then now you're trying something new. So really it's just like these little guinea pigs, you know? So it really is it's very much so about the teacher every year. Like you just be praying like fingers crossed, like I hope I get like a conscious like person who realizes like my kids need to move around, or like maybe that will take my kids outside a little bit more, or is not like feeding them this propaganda that doesn't make any sense, or kindergartners and first graders learning about the civil rights movement. Like, is that really necessary? I don't think so. But it's just like that early, you're trying to get them to know like you're less than. It's just like, so we as parents, we're the first teachers. We have to be so conscious, so deliberate, and really just like gear them up and equip them to be, like I said earlier, just like critical thinkers, and like to see like the teacher not as a god, but just like as another person, as another learning human being,
You spoke on it previously. I just want to touch on it a little more. So the unschooling is basically letting the child kind of, or seeing and observing the child take a natural course to where it leads and supporting them in those areas.
Yes, exactly. And it's not like you have a curriculum and you're like feeding this curriculum, but you let the child guide the process. So if they're like interested in dogs, then you can find a way to do math, science, reading, all that within their like interest area. So it's really kind of for us as adults, like when they talk about unschooling, we're trying to kind of de-school in a way. So all the things that we've been taught, like, oh, you need to read at this age, and this is what.
Yes, I call it detoxify the mind. You need to detoxify from what they taught us, right? And we keep on teaching each other without knowing where it come from. I tell you, say the only thing we say it to each other is always the worst stuff. We never have anything good to say to each other. Where we get that from? That's one of the questions I ask. So we have to detoxify our mind to understand certain things. People me telling say them things that I am learning and I'm being aware of this situation, even though it's been around us. But we don't talk about these stuff, right? We don't conversate about them conversation here.
Math looks like for a first grader, and this is what you need to know. Like there's books like what your first grader needs to know, what your second grader needs to know. It's like getting rid of that and just being like, oh, what's your natural inclination? Like, what are you interested in? Okay, let's go deep and hard into that. And some families, some unschooling families may not even take that direction. They may just let their children be. And
no, she use my word. I wonder if I can. Just let them be. Let us be unlimited. I'm telling you, said this is my understanding of who we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be unlimited. Oh.
I've heard like there's the Philly Free School, and I've heard of places where it's just like they'll let the kids just kind of like guide their own learning experience. And sometimes you may find that there's like this wave where it's like, oh my gosh, my kid was like on the screen for like 10 hours straight, and like this like really doesn't feel okay. But then like after a while the kid gets tired of it, and then they get bored of it, and they're just like, okay, what else can I do? But it's like trying to get over that threshold, because we have this idea of what schooling looks like. This is what schooling looks like. This is what, you should be able to produce something. You should be able to, read, write, arithmetic, like all these things. This is what science looks like, opposed to, we spent the whole day outside and you got all the things. And also your nervous system is like super relaxed, and you got some sunlight. Like there's classrooms with no windows, and it's just like, oh my gosh, those poor babies.
And that's it. We might need that space so we can think. And from January, I talk about that. If you don't have a free space in your mind, you're just in confusion. If you clear your mind with yoga, I say write. I say pick up a pen, pick up a book, write something, write a poem, write something. I say anything you put on the paper, go look at it tomorrow and see how refreshing it look, knowing that you wrote something down. I say I always write, I've always been writing, but I always encourage, even though I have the ugly handwriting, I've always loved my handwriting, so I always put it to paper. Until I write some poem, and one day I'm gonna have go through some of the poem them when I write, but you don't know, so them writing on my handwriting, so I'm gonna have difficulty reading it. But at least it's written, people, right? At least I wrote it down and I can go back to it later on. I read already my poem, the letter when I write to myself many years ago, right? So for us to express ourselves in a positive light from inside. So when you create anything you create, you're not gonna create something where you hate. You're gonna create something where you like or where you love. So this one I say, our unlimited ability, it's not, we're not tapped into it. We only tap into the surface of, I don't like you and you don't like me and he's this, and those things are so super. Those things absolutely mean nothing to our existence. Betterment is always the goal, This is what I say when I reflect on all of them great people before us, right? Their only goal was betterment. Them just want a better society, a better community, better health care. All of the things where them work on, we are benefiting enough of them things there. Not just we alone, Other race, other culture, I enjoy what we do. Imagine, even the people that might experiment on we for find drugs for other people. Them people that still benefit from pain and suffering. That's why I say, for us to be better people, we have to look for ourselves. Look how much group them used to have before. Them have so many different community group looking out. The lady said them have homeschooling now, them have organization. So we must be part of something. We must be part of the spider web. And that's my little part of me I put in to highlight all of them great people of past, present, and future. Because them deserve it. Up, Daniel. We're there. We are talking about our greatness. And how amazing it is. I'm going to keep on saying that over and over because we can't say it enough. We can never ever say it enough. Say, we are great. We just have to be good to each other. Respect each other. Look out for each other. And that's our greatness, you know. Imagine we're so great and we just treat each other like so we're great. Not because you're taller than me, not because I'm darker than you. Them things there, those are the most vilest thing where we can have against each other. We are unlimited beings. Every one of them people when we talk about, they're part of us. The one them we pass off, they're still part of us. Them still exist. The lady say it. I'm gonna tell you, say, I said it before. So one time I burned myself, I did a free soul. Them laugh off of me. But me tell you, say the souls, they're around us. They're in us. We are them. They're us. That's why I'm saying time the man look at me and tell, he didn't look at me, but him say, oh, that's in the past. I'm gonna tell you same time the next day I forward pam my channel here. I find people who are alive. I find people who are alive, present. And most of them people when I don't know, they're present people who are alive doing great things. We talk about Burkina Faso, Maui, Niger. Great things are going on with them people there. So at them people there, me I highlight. To keep with spirit up, keep with spirit balance. Not just the foolishness. Not just the bleaching cream and who a dancehall king. Yes, them things that is part of our culture too. But them things that is not the only part of our culture we have to highlight. The greatness we supposed to highlight. The month is almost finished, people. And me not see, me not go on a channel and me hear them I do history pan, anything of us. All of every channel me hear pure sensationalism. So when them take out Black History Month and them take off the name, I'm gonna tell you they slap on the name for anything. I sell it to it. Once they take off the name off of it, you know what it means? Sure, and I make no money off of it no more. Not telling you. If we did a spend the way them want to if spend on Black History Month. All the memorabilia and all of the shirts and them she say we not buy it no more. So them say, you know what? We never bother with it no more. I bet you them are gonna come in with something else. Because me tell you, once they slap on a name to any deer and put some meaning to it, which means like on Christmas tree. Then just put up the Christmas tree. I would have just put present underneath it. Eh? So then just have a Christmas tree up on next day and then we start spend on the day there. And at that I try to show you me understanding these things and seeing how great we are without the bells and whistles. Just the naked truth of who we are. It's amazing. I love these people. That's why I say me even love me ugly handwriting because I mean write it. I say it. Me not proud of it, but me love it anyways. I say I could write better if me take my time and practice and uniformity and all of them stuff there. But me still proud of my handwriting. It's just like how you're proud of your handwriting. This is how you're supposed to be proud of yourself. Right, people? Capisci, people? I'm telling you, them people is amazing. Them just, I have some other people where more highlight coming up in like for next month and because you see, it's not just about the people. I say more talk about invention more and talk about where we invent, where we create, those stuff. Right? There's so much in depth where we can go into of ourselves. We don't have to leave ourselves and go nowhere. And when we do leave ourselves and go anywhere, we can go anywhere and show, look how we impact these people's life. Right? Because everywhere we're there in the world, we exist everywhere. Everywhere can't exist without we. So this is why I say, I love the fact say, them things, yeah, are my thing. And other people think, come tell you, say, this channel, right? If you go up on the channel, yeah, I never knew TV, the amount of people them were in interview, great people, right? Him do an interview with a Bonnie Dread, one famous Jamaican artist. Again, I know I mess up the people them name so them can come off of me later on, you know. But him do an interview and it's like 2 hours. So when me do that, broke that down, that's gonna be like a 4 hour. So that me I try show you people. Me not have no problem I spend time with great people, you know. Because the people them when them talk with sense, them talk with them experience, them talk with how them feel, right? So once you're around people who are genuine and you hear them talk and them make you feel comfortable. I tell you, say nowadays people have to beat them chest 10-30 times and tell you, say them article. When before article people, they never know the word article. Them just live them life. And them just set an amazing example. Same thing with Bob Marley. Bob Marley did not just live him life. And people still hate Bob Marley. What do you mean? Me hear the SYM Bob Marley. Eh? Bob Marley pass on so long and somebody are going to say SYM Bob Marley. Somebody said that. Okay. What does that say about that person mentality? Eh? What Bob Marley could have do a person for a person said that about Bob Marley? That just means I could never equate up to Bob Marley. So the best thing we can do is tell Bob Marley SYM. The greatness of Bob Marley still the pan music chart or sell music. Yes, the money I got to Sony and them people there because all of them things that we don't own anything. Yes, bad attitude. Yeah, we definitely own that. And if we not own it, them give it to we. Then put it on we if you carry like one burden. When we say we used to be respectable people, we used to be mannerable, we used to be us. That's us. That's why I say there's us and there's them. Them can't say SYM Bob Marley. Because them don't understand what it means. Our culture, our love. It used to be real enough. It used to be real. But where gone, people? How comes nobody never have to hate we no more? We just hate ourselves. Hate each other. So the next generation, I say it already. We don't have to know. So there's always better. And money is not it. Our unlimited ability is real. As we proceed, people, as we proceed to betterment, educational, informative, betterment are the best way to go. Big up on yourself. Humanity on a whole. Thank you for stopping by. Always there with me. RTN and Bible Studies. Thank you for stopping by. Debbie Jervis. Always, always more coming. Daniel Speak TV. Bella Shot. Bella Rose Shot Media. Big up on yourself. And that's how we are grow. One story at a time. More people. More. Always more.